What really happened at Famine 2018. The full story. So first off, what is Famine? Famine is the largest anime convention in the United States. It's home for many cosplayers who go around the world, visit their karaoke, tons of festivities, and they're just really big actors. This is the full story of what actually happened. Okay, so first of all, the first anime I went with Stephanie, my friend Lindy, and it was anime galore. I mean, I got to meet Kisuke, the guy from Bleach, Urahara, Yuricha was there, Grimjaw was obviously there. I got to see, beyond my favorite cosplayers. Because what Famine is, if you're full on nut, that it's an anticipated event. It's based on the best cosplayers and everything that's going to be there. So, the reason why I make this video is so you won't have a misconception. Because one of the main, issues that people have today, when it comes to how you play off something, that Famine is a guarantee. Each year is different. Each year is different in what they provide. It's a guarantee that they're going to have the most unique cosplayers there. So therefore, I'm going to kick off this video saying that I wore pink and that it was the same year that Darling and the Franks came out. Because the whole reason for the anticipation is that somebody at work asked me if I was going to Famine. The same, place where Stephanie invited me to. It's a really big event, guys. I don't want you, guys to miss out, on the whole meaning of Famine. That con is amazing, but it comes with a full-on nerd. And at the time, back when I was a junior, I was struggling. So bottom line, what happened was the girls at work touched me first. Cause what happened, when I went, when I was 23, not the junior, was I grabbed over 300 after, changing as a person after, being grabbed at work, so, when it came to work, when it came to everything first started, the girls grabbed me first. It started with one, and her name was Jasmine, and then went on to a whole bunch of others. But, what cops do is they like to sneak, the principal, what you did online, but align with the week, align literally with the fucking health facts, say, yo, your body was 100% together, to refer you to the best of bonds with your family. But anyway, the more of the story is, when I went, 2018, versus 2011, sure, there was a bunch, legendary there, but the most famous one that I was, known for, that always comes over was Neferpito. Because 18 was a whole different event because anime was evolving and it was becoming more popular on Netflix. I don't mean to bash you guys, I don't mean, to look down at Famine. It sucks that, something next year happened over 18, but what happened, was I dodged the bullet. Literally, I got, into, some voice actor, Christopher Sabat, and the voice actor, Goku, Sean Schimmel, all the way to the point, I was about to make my own anime, and I became Lord Seventh. If you don't know, Naruto's the seventh Hokage in Naruto. After 300, bitches like I mentioned before, it was after, me dramatically changing from high school, and I had a career on Snapchat while I used to, playdate strippers. They want me to text them more, so I said, believe it, and so what happened was, so what I was wearing was a pink long sleeve shirt with a custom design by Al with Bart Simpson riding on Nimbus Cloud at Kame House, plain black jeans, a pair of checkerboard pink Vans, and a real Gucci chain from Pagoda with Happy from Fairy Tail as an ornament. I don't know where it stands right now. I think my girlfriend took it. Some took both the chain and the ornament, and the other one, was long lust, but it was a beautiful event. Literally, there was tons of 02s. Literally, and Beta Zim was there. There was Cosmo and Wanda. Got to grab, a girl's chain. Literally, and another one looked like Natsu Dragonil. That was really gangster. Someone even offered me bomb line that happened after the Whole Cake Island arc from One Piece came out. This was a very good year in anime, and on top of that, we had Black Clover opening 3. So what happened was, they ended up being good friends to this day. I ended up putting a lot of them in my manga. But more importantly, there's 2 facts that I have to state for the video. One, I read a book that eventually destroyed it. It didn't destroy all 3 days, but it destroyed the first day, which is what I got the most famous for, but that's what happens when you grow up, you read a book. It didn't beat the next day. That revolved around a girl from Chris the Elephant statue, which was connected to Standard, which is also connected to my problem and statement. The prime point for this video is the next year, whack anime like Promised Neverland came out, Longer Mob Psycho 100, so even though Famine was a guarantee, there were whack-ass cosplayers there. That was a trick, the anticipating next year that came with all the anime that was less. Had to do with how they were smart alecky and fooled me. Because the next year, even though I adapted to such anime, didn't have the same success. I was way before Who Fucks Who on Code Lyoko. When you see everything side by side, what ended up happening was I had an idea, a generic idea. So I was used to the whole cosplay thing. I instead of having custom key designs, I actually cosplayed. And the very first one that was advertised was Omori, black character from Naruto. And this was the year 2019. Hence the COVID. Now the next day I was going to be Todoroki for a pun because I had two Todoroki outfits. One for the daytime that had a pair of matching bands, and the other time really that was specifically made for the dance floor. I ended up with improvisation, shaking my dreads. The third day I was gonna do much like my criticism of the day. I actually did 2,000 sit-ups, that year and that year alone. But being a black cosplayer about to be from Dragon Ball Z, happening externally was they fooled me to the same thing again, literally, and they labeled me a predator. Yeah, I had a date literally in the same San Jose city where a cop was looking at me, dead hand in hand with my Hannah date. What was more, importantly, was principles. So what happened was they understood that they set me up because I sang the same song every day. Because the year before we had karaoke all the way to a point where I sang "I'll Make a Man Out of You" from Mulan. Don't take this lightly, guys. Literally, when I saw the Predator, it was on the blog all over Facebook, literally, and they also posted it at Famine Twitter. I'm saying fuck the whole story because what happened was they gratified me for being a bad boy. Some of them gave me messages of being a bad boy, but here's what I did. I went to Crunchyroll 2019, the exact same year, and what happened was I chose Connie. So what the security guards did was they simply said that they were talking shit, and they let me in for over 24 hours. But the second day, it got hectic when I had a fade, when more people literally that were there to con before started hacking, and when they went up, some of the girls that were affected by me talked to the security guards. They still let me in for a pretty long time, but what happened was they gave me a chance to be street smart because the whole story was leaking through. What ended up happening was I didn't go a third day. So what happened, the situation right now is I went to Level Up Expo the next year, where I didn't go in at all, which was the catchphrase. Now with that being said, the exact same year of 2019, when I went to Level Up Expo for the Yu-Gi-Oh tournament, when I cosplayed as Yu-Gi-Moto, what happened was go in at all. Literally, I didn't grab ass, literally, which is a part of the whole story, right? So I pulled numbers literally at Crunchyroll 19 and Level Up 2020. But the point is, at 19, I was still under pressure with someone dressed up as a personal reference for me. I tried to grab it, but something held me back. And when things dragged on, my hands actually slipped for a Kami cosplayer that blew me a kiss. That's because that's what happens to a human body. We actually have a picture of me with the Kami cosplayer running gags side by side. Even though it's true the majority of the time I didn't do anything, I recognize that, people can do something, when feel pressured. Even though I didn't do it at all, 2020. The reason why I make this video is because I'm about to go to the next level up here at 26, and I have to bring a checkerboard, fanny pack in order to have my phone because I'm gonna cosplay as Sasuke, and if I bring my Wu-Tang Clan backpack, it's not gonna be able to show the Uchiha symbol on the back. That's when they start, investigating and getting heat, because that's what happened last time when I was Connie. They literally asked what was in the bag, and I have a checkerboard, fanny pack. Even though I saw somebody contact at the gym. Within this picture, the moral of the story is, guys, I thought I had all this, I thought I had my anime, and now I'm asking my mom, literally, for money for Uber, and how am I supposed to call her for the Uber if I have the fanny pack bag? But that is truly the story, and that has, the majority of my fan base from today.